MAGA foreign policy goes like this: Israel first, Argentina first. MAGA domestic policy is own the libs. That's it. That's the list. And what's happening in Argentina should be the canary in the coal mine for all of the MAGA voters who voted because of inflation and they wanted to be able to get further ahead in their jobs. They were sick of income inequality and they felt like Trump, for God knows what reason, was somehow going to be the change agent. And so, what we have right here, put up this headline, Kylie, is Trump has extended a $20 billion line of money to Argentina to stabilize Javier Milei's failing economy. And you may be like, why the fuck does he care about this guy? Why are we giving Argentina $20 billion? Well, it turns out Milei is a huge MAGA thumper, and he went all in on Muskconomics.
Oh.
He's a Muskconomics guy, and you have Elon Musk and Scott Bessent. Trump has no economic plan. He has concepts of a plan, but he's never had an economic plan because he bankrupts everything. So here's what happened in Argentina. Pop this up, Kylie. Economic collapse, and then we're going to have a U.S. bailout. Milei assumed office in December of 2023 amid hyperinflation and economic chaos. He pushed a shock therapy agenda, deregulation and spending cuts. He basically eliminated a bunch of departments and did exactly what Elon Musk did with Doge and what Scott Bessent and others, Howard Lutnick and Trump, all continue to do with the United States economy. He issued a mega decree to slash regulations across the economy. Economy was extremely fragile, capital flight and currency pressure. So all investors left Argentina. Over 1 billion sold to defend the peso, and he drained the reserves. And now Milei is seeking $20 billion U.S. bailout and aid package. This happened in 2 years.
Yeah.
This happened in 2 years, and this is the exact plan. This is Muskconomics, this libertarian, cut all social services. We're so smart. We're going to fix everything. And now the United States of America is bailing out Argentina, and you have people whose social services have been cut. And it seems like every single time I turn around, Pumps, this administration puts Israel 1st and it puts Argentina first. And you have a bunch of Americans who voted for this man, who live in rural America, that they voted for him because they think he loves the country and he thought he was going to help them. And he lied to them. He lied his ass off to these people. They were nothing but a transactional vote for him. Meanwhile, their hardworking dollars are going to Israel to kill kids and to Argentina because they elected a dipshit.
Well, and all we hear about is that rural hospitals are closing. Younger people can't buy a house. We've got people on social services because they work full time, but the minimum wage is so low. And I look at this and I think, if we don't have money to fund education or hospitals or Social Security, we're taking money that people put into the government and we're saying they can't have it back, then why the fuck? Where are you getting the money to bail out a foreign country? If you can't help your own citizens, why are you doing it to other people? And then I think it's because they don't give a shit. They don't care.
Yes. And Kylie, put up the Midas Touch tweet. MAGA told us over and over again that Milei was bringing prosperity to Argentina. They used MAGA propaganda machine to highlight his austerity politics as a model for the U.S. Now that the outcome has been devastating, they are making the United States bail out their failed experiment. End wokeness in 2023, when Milei was running for president, all he had to do was stand next to a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, because that hits hard in MAGA. And End Wokeness tweets, "Holy shit, Argentina just elected Javier Milei as their next president. History has been made today." And Elon Musk says prosperity is ahead for Argentina. We're 2 years, a year and a half behind them right now, you guys. Elon Musk went into the federal government and they did this exact same thing. The big, beautiful bill is this exact same thing. So then that leaves me the question, who's going to bail us out? Because last time I checked, everybody hated us because Kanks is so unlikable.
Right. I mean, no one's going to bail us out. They're going to celebrate the fall of the United States and Trump We are the seventh bankruptcy that he had. I mean, look at the dollar. Look at all the financial indicators. You're right. We are 2 years away from this if we make it there.
All right. And then you may remember like Elon Musk with the chainsaw, and I'm taking a chainsaw, and he was all fucked up on ketamine in his sunglasses after he did the Nazi salutes, right? The guy that handed it to him, you guys, was Malay. So you see that down in the bottom right. So in Malay, Javier Malay goes all over Argentina, and he talks about just cutting spending, cutting spending, cutting spending. You guys, it's crazy to say this, but like, we had a country 250 years of economic policies, procedures, independence. Is it perfect? No. Has capitalism set us up? Yes, all of those things. But a man that benefited off of all of this taxpayer money and government subsidies runs around with a chainsaw, and he's respected because for Americans, I think, well, he's rich, he must be smart. And we're going to just completely tank our economy. As Pumps just mentioned, the US dollar is having the worst performance it's had, I think, since the 70s. And we're going to go the way of Argentina soon, all for like these broken, untreated, drug addict, emotionally stunted people.
Well, and the economic inequality, we have so many billionaires, they will not suffer as much because they have piles of money to fall back on. It's the people that came out and voted for Trump in droves. They are the people that will suffer the most. They absolutely are.
And already right now, farmers are completely suffering because Trump's plan is, fuck around with China, tariffs, no tariffs, trade war, blah, blah, blah. China, we're only 10% of their economy. So they're like 10% BFD, we'll make it up somewhere else. So Trump has gutted the farming industry. And guess what happens now? Now they need a bailout. Pop this up.
Alongside, of course, the president's effort to realign America around American products and making all of these new deals, we are at a point where we're looking at the harvest, where we're looking at our soybean, corn, wheat, sorghum, cotton farmers who are facing very, very difficult times. We are currently in conversations here at the White House, across the government, on a farmer aid package. In our current
okay, a farmer aid package. The reason they need a package is because we have incompetent leadership that completely tanked their industry. Their customers, the soybean farmers, were the Chinese. They've sold zero soybeans to China because China said, F you, we're not playing around with this guy. They moved on. And so now these farmers, a lot of which voted for Trump, they're affected, but also the machinery industry, the transportation industry, the freight liner of this. I believe with everything in me, and I don't want this to happen, but I think the stock market is overvalued right now. We're at the midst of an AI bubble. It's about to pop. And all of these Trumpian, Muskconomics, Scott Bessent, Howard Nutlick, it's all going to hit. And we are going to be in horrific shape.
And again, it goes to like Trump created a problem because he pissed off China, and he couldn't put anybody on his staff or in his cabinet that had any expertise in economics. So he bankrupts the soybean and the farmers. So now he's going to bail them out because he created the problem. Now he's going to give them the solution, but the solution is short-sighted. Once China figures out we can buy from other countries, we don't have to fuck with them.
They already have figured it out.
Right. But they're not going to come back next year.
Right.
I mean, he cannot continue to bail out because he's running the economy into the ground. And it slays me how people don't realize the reason we're in this spot is because of Trump.
Clearly, by watching our channel, we have all established you're a news junkie, and that's why it's so important for us to share with you where we get our news every single day. It is called Ground News, and basically, listener, they are the Spotify of news, telling you who owns each outlet, where it leans politically, and whether you're reading original reporting or recycled messaging. Here is a headline from a left-leaning paper. Trump could deploy 1,000 troops to Louisiana cities until 2026. And what's so great about Ground News is this tells me this is a left-leaning headline and that the article has a high factuality rating. Same subject, different side of the political spectrum. Here is a far right headline. Trump administration drafts plan to activate 1,000 National Guard troops pending Republican governor support, report claims. And this, Ground News tells me, is very low factuality. So then you can pick, do you want to read the truth or do you want to read propaganda? Ground News makes it so easy to do this. So join us by going to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that Pumps and I use every single day. They are subscriber funded. And our favorite part is that they are female founded. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work here at IHIP News. That's ground, GROUND news.com/IHIP. And the link is right below in the show notes. Sign up, you won't regret it. And then next up, and again, this is an opportunity for farmers to get together and assemble the press and talk about it and say, we screwed up and Trump screwed us over. But the problem is he has them by the balls because then they're not going to get a bailout and they need a bailout. And so all of this stuff just goes underreported and the suffering is going to pile on. And listen to this same secretary, this broad that runs the, I guess, Secretary of Agriculture. Listen to how heartless these people are. Listen to this clip. It's so bad.
USDA spends $400 million a day on just nutrition programs, just food stamps, lunches. If we just peel a portion of that and incentivize locally grown produce, locally grown beef.
Did you hear that? She wants to peel back assistance. And she's trying to wrap that up, that if we can incentivize and all of these things, but she's talking about cutting food to the poorest Americans. And they just come out here and do it so casually. But mind you, we're going to bail out Argentina for $20 billion. What do you think about that, MAGA? What do you, MAGA farmers, what do you think about that? And then I think, okay, this is a layup. All of MAGA foreign policy, Israel first, now we've got Argentina first. He never gets to the United States. This is a layup for Hakeem to step up to the plate and knock it out of the ballpark. Here's what Hakeem's up to.
You led, that you are most proud of or that you seek to sort of emulate on a day-to-day basis?
Well, House and Senate Democrats stood shoulder to shoulder together in strong opposition, in fact, in unified opposition to the one big ugly bill.
Hakeem, the bill passed.
Right. I mean, I'm like,
They
what?
passed the bill. The bill was passed. Hakeem, we want to cheerlead for you. We need for you to start whipping everybody into shape the way Nancy Pelosi did. Pull yourself together, Hakeem. If you're going to get on TV and faceplant like that, we're going to call it out. But if you would immediately drop your AIPAC money and get serious and launch a full-blown resistance, you would see your abysmal polling numbers quadruple and so forth and so forth. It would be the Jimmy Kimmel effect.
Right.
You saw what happened to his ratings, but when you try to get everybody to like you and you play pick-me politics, guess what, Hakeem? Nobody likes you, not even your base. We're two Democrats from a red state begging you to understand what's happening with America. Everybody wants you to fight your ass off. You shouldn't have voted for that Charlie Kirk thing. They played you like a fiddle. You need to start resisting. And if you can't do it, step aside and let somebody else do it. And the same goes for you, Chuck Schumer. I'm not going to bore everybody with your Sunday morning appearances because it was a snooze fest beyond all snooze fest. Step down and let Chris Murphy take over the Senate. Get a fighter in there. Get somebody in there that isn't compromised, that will fight. This country deserves it. Your party deserves it. Stop it. It just makes me crazy. I'll forgive you the very second you start fighting. But if you keep playing pick-me politics and word salad politics, my God, we're going to keep just calling your ass out on here every chance we can get.
Such a failure in leadership. This is just such a moment that needs fighters. And we're not meeting the moment in the Democratic Party. We are not doing it.
Not in leadership.
Not in leadership. We've got people, Ro Khanna, Robert Garcia. Those are fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Hakeem Jeffries. I did hear him on an appearance say, well, I made my opposition known. I wrote a letter. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. The strongly worded letters are not helping.
It's just, I don't know what's wrong with them. I literally, sometimes I think because their response is so impotent, Pumps,
So
I think, are they for Trump? Because I can't compute it. I can't understand. To me, this is a moment where you save democracy. And Nancy Pelosi has been a minority leader before. Of course, she was the majority as well. But she whooped everybody into shape so much, and she was excellent at bossing everybody around, and everybody followed suit. And that is just not happening with Hakeem. Hakeem, a black man, voted to honor a racist. I fucking give up. I do not fucking understand that.
I don't either.
I will never understand that. In my world, a Democratic leader, black, white, whatever, lesbian, trans, should never give daylight, not an ounce, not even a tiny little ounce of daylight to a racist.
Well, and they hide behind the free speech argument, but it's like you can support. I mean, we've said
Use your free speech, Hakeem. Use
Yeah.
your speech to speak out against racism and to speak out against gun violence. Use your speech better.
absolutely, especially right now.
Free speech goes both ways.
And here's the deal. We are sitting around and watching this country go to the shitter. And these are the responses that we get. History's not going to judge this kindly.
I swear. I mean, I've just had it with Hakeem. I mean, he has got to get his shit together or step aside. This is just, I can't believe it. And Chuck Schumer, you got to go too. I mean, it's just, give it to Chris Murphy. Just pass it over to him.
Pass
He's
the
a
torch.
fighter. Just pass it to him. Be in the Senate. Go big dick around at some club you want to hang out with other swinging dicks in DC.
Right.
Until your next election. And same for Hakeem. But come on, man. I've had it. All right. Buy our book. Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. The shit sandwiches that's being served up today is one right here. This little sandwich is Hakeem Jeffries. Total shit sandwich. And then we have Chuck Schumer, another shit sandwich. But seriously, buy our book. It's a great way to get to know Pumps and me and a great way to support our podcast. Subscribe, and we'll see you all later.